10 things poor people waste money on. Hello viewers, welcome to our channel. If you're new here, thanks for watching and we promise you'll enjoy this video to the fullest. Our focus today is on the things poor people waste their money on. People spend money on different things depending on the income they earn. For example, rich people buy more healthy foods than the poor. Poor people will focus mainly on footing their house bills. Both groups of people waste their money, but they spend on different items. This video will show you how poor people waste their money. If you find yourself among any of these categories, this video is not to hurt you, but to make you know how to manage and spend your money wisely. When you know what you can afford, you will greatly increase your savings. Now, watch this video to the end, learn where you waste your money and how you can fix it from our list. Before we proceed, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more exciting videos. Number 1. Buying or renting a house beyond your budget. It is not strange that every individual, be it poor or rich, will want a comfortable and spacious home to live in with family. Most of the times, good houses are expensive to get. You will certainly want a particular design for your living room, kitchen, toilets, rooms and other features. With that in mind, you may lose sight of your budget. It is very important to have a fixed budget and stay glued to it no matter the situation. Trying to live above what you can afford can be to your own detriment. The reason why poor people become poorer is because they try to spend the same way rich people do. Why do you rent or buy a house above what you can afford because you want to match up with your friends whom have nice ones? The reality of life is you need to stop comparing whatever you have to what your friends or siblings or neighbors own. Do your 3 kids need to share a room? Don't bother, they will adapt and find ways to have their own space and time. We are aware that sharing a bathroom with 3 people in the morning might be a challenge, but as long as you're living according to your means and staying out of debt, you will stop wasting money. When you practice this, you'll find yourself saving as much money that can get you a better house in future. Number 2. Junk food. So most poor people live by the myth that they can't buy healthy food because it is expensive. Sadly enough, the reverse is true. Have you ever taken a look at the prices of vegetables and fruits compared to cakes, burgers and yogurts? They are way cheaper than you think. Analyzing this, you will notice that junk food is more expensive than a basket of tomatoes or bundle of vegetables. Sometimes some poor people want to look like the rich by buying junk food or eating in classic restaurants. Sadly enough, rich people don't care about junk food or the fancy restaurants. They focus on eating healthy in their homes by buying fresh vegetables and fruits. Rich people save money by doing this. Thus put aside the burgers that cost 2,000 francs and go buy vegetables which cost 500 francs, which is more beneficial to you. Number 3. Fortune tellers and diviners. Accept it or not, even if you haven't spent money on a fortune teller or diviner, you have thought about it. You have rushed in people's inboxes, shared your story or anything about you, and tried to get them to tell you something. It is normal for people to be more curious about their future. Unfortunately, majority of these people are fake and are simply looking for means to earn money. Your future depends on your choices, your visions, where you want to see yourself in the years ahead, and you don't need to pay anyone to make a choice or set goals for you. You don't need to pay anyone to tell you who you will marry, who to love, or what career you should take. Instead of wasting your money on people who are trying to scam you, save up that money and use it for better things. Number 4. The newest technology. This is common with the younger population. This is another way of keeping up with your friends. You want the latest technology because of all the features and prestige that comes with using it. You want the latest iPhone with good storage capacity, better camera, thinner and bigger size. But come to think of it, there isn't really a great difference from one phone to another. Why change phones if both can serve the same purpose? The fact that you have more money to buy a new phone doesn't mean you can afford it. There is a difference between having money in your account and being able to afford an item. You need to pay your rent of 400,000 francs, and that phone costs 100,000 francs. What you can afford is to pay your rent and not buy a new phone. Number 5. In-app purchases and games. There is this game we downloaded some time ago, and over the course of time you become addicted to it. When you reach a certain stage, you run out of coins. You like this game and can't imagine not moving to the next stage because of coins. Then suddenly the app tells you there's a new sale and you can get 20,000 coins for 500 francs. You consider 500 francs as a small amount and decide to buy the coins. After a few days, the same thing happens and you do another purchase. At the end of the month, you realize that you've spent about 10,000 francs into your app, whereas this same amount could go to your gas, electricity or water bill. A lot of people have fallen into this trap several times. You need to focus on what is essential and what can benefit you in the long run and not just on the temporal things. You can even go as far as uninstalling the game, you won't regret it later. Number 6. Hangouts. It is very important to go out and have fun sometimes, but don't make this a habit, especially if you're not a high income earner. Even rich people don't eat out, go for movie nights or club every day. It is good to go out with friends once in a while, but doing that often can leave a deficit on your account. This is one of the highest things poor people waste money on: partying. You mustn't celebrate every birthday or achievement. If you want to make something special for your wedding anniversary, for example, you don't need to go to the most expensive of restaurants. You could make a good home-cooked meal and serve with a bottle of wine. If your friends are paying reservations for an event, stay at home, save up that money, and cater for needs which are more important. Number 7. Health. Unfortunately, most poor people neglect their health problems a lot. When they have mild headaches or stomach aches, they prefer to go to the traditional way. They prefer consuming traditional medicines to ease their current situations. But the sad truth is, after some time the same problem reappears. We didn't say traditional medicine aren't good, but it is very important to visit the hospital once in a while for proper checkup, no matter how small the issue is. Ignoring your poor health won't make your situation any better. It is preferable to spend small amounts getting drugs when a condition is mild, rather than ending up with large hospital bills when the situation becomes chronic. Number 8. New trends. You find this trending pair of sneakers at the shop and they cost about 20,000 francs. You need to get these pairs of shoes to keep up with the trend, but you don't really need these shoes as much as you think. It seems that every time you pass through shops, you see that particular pair of sneakers staring at you and telling you you can afford it. The fact is, after some months, that sneaker won't be as popular, and then you will want a different shoe that is in fashion at that time. Fashion and trends change quickly every day. If you start purchasing one item, you will need to buy the next item over time because you want to follow the trend. There are a lot better things you can do with your money rather than following trends. Save that money and make the best out of it. Number 9. Impulse shopping. Impulse purchases are unplanned decisions to buy a good or service you don't really need, or at least at that moment. Every one of us is a victim of this. How many times have you spent money on things you didn't really plan for? They are known as impulse items and sometimes have a price higher than similar items in the store. For example, you decide to go for a trade fair with friends and then you have allocated the budget to spend only on drinks and food only. And then suddenly you see this beautiful dress exhibited at a stand. Because of the fear of not having to see it somewhere else again, you decide to go out of your budget and purchase this lovely dress. You need to tell yourself no to all these impulse items and learn to control your desires. It is always important to go for your needs more than your wants. Number 10. Smoking and drinking. It is shocking to know that many people, especially poor men, spend much money on drinking and smoking more than the rich. It is often the low-income earners that spend much money on smoking and drinking. When a packet of cigarette costs just 1,000 francs and a drink 500 francs, even though prices are increased, this group of people will keep on buying. Imagine having to smoke a packet of cigarettes and get 2 or 3 bottles of drink per day. At the end of the day, you realize that you spend much money that could rather go to foot your bills, fuel your car, or pay for commodities. If you want to quit smoking or drinking, try chewing a bubble gum each time you feel as to smoke and consume enough water when you feel as to drink. If this doesn't work for you, seek the help of a doctor. This is the end of this amazing video. If you find yourself guilty of any of the points listed above, try to work on yourself and reduce unnecessary expenditure. Hope you will be able to spend your money wiser than before. Please like and share this video and also drop a comment in the comment section and tell us what we left out from the list.